I'm dead inside, like, nice. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel today. My name is Sus and welcome back to another YouTube video. Hello, hi guys, hi, good morning. Good morning. It's morning for me, bitch. So I had to work today, so you guys already know the drill. I'm fucked. Wee. But hi guys, welcome back to another video today. If you guys already know, my name is Celis. I talk about anime related things, anime content, Vocaloid, J-pop, all that shit. This is a weeb channel all the way. And typically on Fridays, I post on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And typically on Fridays, I pick an anime, or I currently watch an anime, wait for it to finish, and then talk about it, give my review about it. I think people who watched my video like 17 years ago know that I did a video about this anime mid-review because I didn't know how fucking long this anime was gonna be. So today's video is gonna be about To Be Hero X. And again, I know a lot of people are in love with this anime. I'm gonna do my honest, pure review about it. Again, this is my own opinion. Every opinion is subjective. And I'm gonna say, please don't attack me if I say anything out of, like, if you don't agree. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not gonna say To Be Hero X was bad. I'm just gonna say some of the flaws that I had with it and some of the things I really love about it. So we're gonna get right into this fucking anime. Yeah, I'm jumping into this video today because I noticed I've been rambling a lot in my fucking videos. Like, there'd be one time I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a quick video, 30 minutes later. So I'm like trying to go through it as quickly as possible because I feel like I fucking talk like a shit ton in my videos. So we're not gonna do that today, technically, ish. Hopefully. Maybe that kind of devalued my experience with To Be Hero X is because I didn't know it was an anime that the comedic, like, think about like idol shows back in the day. I don't know if they still do it today because I watch anime. Like America's Got Talent, that people and viewers can vote who their favorite stuff. I didn't know this anime was like engaged with the audience like that. And I found out way too late because towards the end of the anime, I'm gonna explain why, and I'm like, shit, I could have voted, but know what? I didn't know anything. I was going through it like bare bones, naked and stuff. Like, I did not know what was going on. So To Be Hero X is gonna be confusing because I was semi-confused at the beginning. But the beginning, you get introduced to this guy that I'm not gonna fucking pronounce his name for the love of me. All the names here are Chinese. Literally Chinese. I don't know how to say Japanese names. I don't know how to say Korean names. I don't even know how to say my own name. So I'm not gonna fucking attempt. But I'm gonna say by their superhero names. So the commoner, like the story opens up with the commoner. He was a regular bitch guy working an office job. He gets fired. And in this world that he lives in, everyone, like, there's a trust value and the amount of trust you gain. If it goes higher and higher, you can have superpowers. You can have superpowers and become heroes. There's also fear value and shit like that. All that shit that is explained in the anime. And so he was just standing on the rooftop because I guess that's what one does when they get fired. When I get fired, I'm looking for another job. You don't see me about to like, well. But the commoner was just standing there, like, I guess thinking about fucking life. It's been so long, okay? He's thinking about life, and then this other superhero that he does a lot of advertising for, his name is Nice. He was walking, he's smiling, and next thing you know, he goes and tries to kill himself. The commoner sees it, he freaks out. Everyone from the industry that was in charge of Nice was looking for him, like, oh fuck, he died. And then they looked at the commoner and was like, oh, you kind of look similar to him. So they disguised the commoner to look like Nice and like fake his life. And then after a certain point, because Nice was like arranged to have this public image that was not really him, like he had a girlfriend that was perfect too. And like the commoner kind of didn't want to fuck with that anymore, and he exposed himself saying, yo, Nice is dead. And then he becomes like his own superhero that everyone's like, oh, a simple person can be a superhero? Fucking bet. And that's where the story ends with Nice. The thing is that I got confused is because it was like a good few episodes. So it was like, I think episodes 1 to 4, 1 to 5, that they were really trying to focus a lot on Nice and shit like that. And then all of a sudden, it just switches to another guy without warning. And I didn't know because, again, maybe if I was engaged with like the website and the community, I would have known that they were gonna switch up like that. So this story, To Be Hero X, again, is really good. It is really good with like the storytelling and stuff like that. So after the commoner story, we switched up to another guy, and one thing I got confused about a lot is that I didn't know, because the animation here, again, I'm gonna say it right here, right now, it's impeccable, it's beautiful. The animation in 3D and 2D, because they switch a lot from 3D animation to 2D animation, it was really good. But what I didn't know, because again, I'm not caught up, I was just watching it bare dry, nothing, no knowledge to it, right? Is that 2D was supposed to represent the past for like the people, and 3D is supposed to represent present day. How the fuck would I have known that just watching it with no knowledge towards it? I'm not complaining, because that's actually a smart thing, but I found out, oh, this shit, like the 2D animation, when they just do the anime, like the anime in 2D was supposed to represent the past. I didn't know that shit. I'm just watching it because it looked good. Like, what the fuck? So we go, like, right after the commoner, we go like back, and then we like meet some other characters that are very prominent to the story, because all the stories are interconnected. We get Dragon, we get X, we get Cypher Lucky, we get Queen, we get Ghostblade, we get Lilith. Like, there's a lot of bitches there that their story is represented. I'm not gonna try to spoil too much of their story. I'm just only gonna spoil like the commoner story, because that's like the first few episodes. But like, there is a lot to unpack, and every like, the thing is, they will cut, and then you will finally like kind of see a pattern. Like, oh, we get to see this girl's story, we get to see Queen's story, we get to see the little Johnnies, and then kind of a spoiler, kind of not. I'm not gonna try to spoil everyone else's story. I'm gonna spoil more of Nice. So when Nice got reintroduced, because at the very beginning, when we see him just kind of gonna kill himself, like, we didn't know why, and then when he got reintroduced, I thought he was fucking creepy at the beginning, because he's there in the dark just Nice, like, that's how he gets introduced, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Like, he kind of freaked me out. And then we find more of his story, that he was more fabricated to look like this persona, and he was like, he like neglected his own self just to be this perfect hero. And then towards the end, we get to see like the votes, like who becomes like the top, because in this story, at the end of like the year or some shit in this universe, 10 of the strongest fighters and the 10 of the best heroes that the people vote for will like go face each other to get the title of X. I will get into a little bit more, but then we get to see like what real life communities voted for. They got Ghostblade, we got the little Johnnies, we got Lilith, we got Lucky Sias, we got the commoner, we got Nice, which I feel like that is such a crazy thing, because at the beginning he tried to kill himself. We see him like his backstory when he tried to kill himself, and then we see him like more of a broken hollow shell, and I was like, oh shit, they should have let him die. Like, the one thing he wanted to do and he couldn't get it. He like looked so fucking broken and shit. And then we get to get introduced, like they're all fighting to beat X. Now, the one problem I had with this show was X himself. I was interested. I was so intrigued when X like was introduced in the story. Like, I was super intrigued. I wanted to know more about him. I wanted to see what his character was about. I wanted to see more, and they always like teased him a lot. Like in the opening he was there, ending he was there, he was in bits and pieces of all the other people's backstory, and then towards the end, like the very last episode, they were trying to like I felt like they were like X was saying like, oh, like, you guys don't know the truth about reality and shit, and like they only dedicated like one pure episode on X, and I was just like, cool. Don't think you're done, bitch. You gotta talk more. Who the fuck are you? Like, I felt like everyone else, because in the anime, no one really knew who X was. I felt like everyone else, I'm like, bitch, this is some bullshit. I'm a watcher. I gotta know what the fuck happened. This is a bullshit. And I'm trying not to spoil too much on the anime. I'm just trying to give my review. I'm gonna talk about the pros. I do like the fucking animation. The animation, again, is very impeccable. It's very gorgeous. A lot of the, like, the way they switch a lot from 3D to 2D, especially on the last episode, was like, I was like, oh shit, this guy is, whoever's animating this is sweating. Whoever's doing this is cooking. Let them cook. I do like the explicitity of like some backstories of some people. Like, I like Lucky Size. Like, I like her backstory a lot. Now, as in much being a pro, there is some cons I got with that, because there's some backstories that was just not as explored as others. Like, a perfect backstory I can say is Ghostblade's backstory, and just seeing the intensity of like how he came to be. Like, he had like a particular mental disease and he was trying to get there for his daughter, but it just didn't work out. And I like how his story also interlocks with Little Johnny's. I thought that was very interesting. But then you get some bitches like Isol that you barely get as much as like compared to him. Like, I'm not saying Isol was a bad like Orc, but it was like, okay, but compared to Ghostblade and shit, or even like the dog, because the dog only had like maybe an episode or two towards the end that it was like, yeah, like, okay, we dedicated like 10 episodes to Ghostblade and like the Little Johnnies and shit, and then you get like X with one, and X is supposed to be like the most important bitch in the universe. Like, that's like my critique about it. It's not that much of a big issue, because if there's a second season, which I'm praying that there is, maybe they'll explore it more. What the fuck am I doing with my hands? But maybe they will explore it more. But as of right now, I do like that there is like a lack of story towards a lot of them, which is wild for me to say, because I felt like I've been watching this shit for like 7 years. Another thing about it, I had to do a mid-review season shit when I was watching To Be Your Ex, because I had to ask people, and people did respond to me, how long was it necessarily supposed to be? Because I felt like, because the way I thought it was gonna be a 12 episode bitch, like it was gonna be 12 episodes that said Yasekawa, but I didn't think it was gonna be 24. And I felt like it was already going a long time. Since it started at the beginning of the year, I read somewhere it started in April. I remember watching that shit in January. Maybe my memory is hasty, but I remember still watching that shit when like One Piece was, when I was still catching up with One Piece. And I finished One Piece. I finally like catched up with One Piece in like February. And I remember I started watching it when I was still catching up with One Piece. So I remember in January-ish, I watched that shit. So people were saying, no, it came out in April. I'm like, bitch, that did not came out in April from my memory. Even if it came out in April, it was a few and it doesn't make any sense, because people say it's April, but there's 24 episodes. There's 4 weeks in a month. That's 8 months. So it makes sense for it to come out in January. Because if it was start out in April, it would still be ongoing. But I felt like I was watching this anime for like the longest time. Like, I felt like, oh my god, can this fucking end? Because I was watching it from the beginning, and I kind of hate, that's why I kind of wait for like episodes just to come out gradually over time, because I hate waiting a lot. Like, I could wait, it's no problem. I waited for all of Attack on Titan and shit, because 17 parts of the last final season was hectic. But like, this one I was watching consistently every freaking week, and I felt like, oh my god, this fucking anime is gonna end by the end of the year, bro. I'm gonna watch this anime in January, and it's gonna come out in this, like, it's gonna finish in December. I was like that. But it's not a bad anime. It's a really good anime. I also love the openings and the ending. Like, I don't really stick for the endings that often. In fact, I was skipping most of the time for other animes. But this one I always stayed for. I don't know what the fuck it was. That especially when they all fall with X being on top, everyone's just falling. And then we get like, and then we see like the cast of characters that was gonna be introduced. I thought that was very interesting, because it get intriguing. Because I'd be like, especially Dragons, and he was like introduced at the very, very end. Like, it's like, okay, I'm very interested in seeing this character when he eventually comes out. I like that shit. Again, these cons for me are like very small, minor details. Again, it's not like this anime is the fucking worst. It's just my point of view. Like, it's like my critiques. If that makes any sense. Like, it's not like I'm butchering the anime. I'm just saying, like, little parts in here. And then I also think like a lot of the big details that did happen, like when Esau, like we would find out who was like corrupting, like in the background, like constructing Esau's like shit, when it was like rocks and shit. Oh my god, I was floored. I was like, oh my god, the old fuck did that shit. Like it was some details like that they kind of brushed like really quickly from. I'm like, wait, no, go back. What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? Like there was some details like that would be like, oh, what the fuck just happened? It'd be shit like that. Another thing I'm gonna say that I'm fucking pissed about this anime is that they made, from the commissionary hero bitch bullshit, whatever the fuck it was, they made my curly motherfucking guy that looked like he's always wearing pajamas, he looked impeccable in 2D. Why the fuck does he look horrible in 3D? The way I was falling for this man every time every time he showed up in the opening, he was so fine. Like, again, he's my hear me out character. And then when I saw him in 3D, I was like, ugh. Like, that's the only big bitch I'm gonna say that I did not like from the anime. Why the fuck they gonna butcher his 3D? Oh my god, it was so bad. And I'm like, he looked the same from 2D to 3D, but in 3D he looks atrocious. I don't know what the fuck it was. But I was also sipping for Ghostblade. I'm not gonna fuck with you. Ghostblade couldn't get it. But if I were to rate this anime, it would have been like a good 9.5 out of 10. Again, it was just like the consistencies was really good. I felt like some backstories should have been longer. It's a little bit longer. Like Esau, I feel like, I know it was like the mystery of who is Esau was there, but it was, I should be like, oh, he should have just stayed a little bit longer. Same thing with the dog, especially with X. I think the more reason why it got shaved half a point for me is because X's story felt like it was just one episode and we're good. And I'm like, no, we need a little bit more, bro. But I love the opening, I love the ending, I love the animation styles. I felt like Nice should have died, because why the fuck you guys bringing him back when he looked like he wants to kill himself even more. But since we all brought him back, he's gonna explode the arena at the fucking same time. I was like, bro, you guys did that to yourself. That was not me, because I was not involved in the voting. I didn't know. That's another thing I can say too that might shade half the point for me, is that I didn't know it was interactive. I never heard of that in the anime community. And if it did happen before, I probably watched the anime like 10 years after release. So this is the first time I ever heard like an interactive like cast or interactive audience like voting who's their favorite. That's the first time for me, and I felt like there should have been more knowledge to it, or like more awareness, or like something for me, because it never reached my thing until like after it aired. So I felt like it should have just like, I didn't know. So I feel like that's the reason why I'm like, really, I did not know that shit. That would have been so cool for me to experience in real time, but I found out like right after the anime ended. I'm like, what the fuck? And that's what everyone brought it up to right after the anime ended. I'm like, did no one thought to tell me this information fucking 4 weeks ago? Like, what the fuck? But To Be Hero X, I give it a good 9.5 out of 10. I think it's really good. It could be anime of like the season and stuff. It's really fucking good. Like, I was very surprised and blown away a lot of the time, so I think you guys should check it out here. To Be Hero X, please. But yeah, that's really it for the video. Other than that, there's nothing else I can say, but actually I have something to say. For the fuckers that are going to see the Chainsaw Man movie, right, in America, I already got confirmation from the internet. I don't have friends. That similar to Demon Slayer with the fucking buckets and the cups, there is gonna be cups and a Pochita bucket for the Chainsaw Man movie. I do not know if it's gonna be like they're gonna have a preview day like Demon Slayer, like what Demon Slayer did like a few weeks prior, that they were like, yo, we're gonna show it on the 9th for these early motherfuckers. I'm just saying, if I go and I'm 5th in line again to see the fucking movie, 5th in line, and I was 5th in line for Demon Slayer. I couldn't get I only got 2 cups and I couldn't get the bucket. If I'm 5th in line or anywhere in line to get a Pochita fucking bucket and the cups, and you guys tell me that you guys fucking sold out because someone ahead of me wanted to buy 20 of those bitches, you're gonna see a different fucking person in my fucking, you're gonna see another person. I will go and crash out. I'm just saying right here, for the scalpers that are selling the Demon Slayer cups for $900. If you do the same shit for Chainsaw Man, I will go and personally crash out in front of you. I will go. I'm gonna fight. I'm just saying, and I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm gonna get a fucking Pochita bucket. I do not care. I will wear that with the shamest shame I ever got in the shame of shame. Don't fuck with me. Hi. My first time I ever held the mic like this in a while. Last time I stopped wearing it because there's like a button here, like this button right here that I accidentally pressed in one of my videos, and I was recording for like a good 30 minutes, and that bitch did not have any sound coming out. So I had to re-record the video, and after that I always just keep that on my shirt, so that's why. But hi, yeah. Thank you guys so much if you watched the end of the video. Again, my name is Sus. I talk about anime related things, anime content, Vocaloid, all that shit. And yeah, thank you so much if you watched to the end of this review. I post on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And yeah, hope to see you guys on Monday. Bye guys.